Hi everybody, this is the baseball hype, the amazing, spectacular, terrific, the great one, the people's champion, your host, Shohei. Welcome back to the Baseball Hut 2. If you like this video, hit that subscribe button. So we're going to talk about, excuse me, Shohei Ohtani. Now I saw a discussion on High Heat a little while ago, talking about Shohei Ohtani, and just sort of comparing him to Babe Ruth. He's nowhere in Babe Ruth's class. Sorry. Not even close. Before we get into that, let's talk about the contract. He got the $700 million contract. $680 million is going to be deferred after the 10 years of the contract. Outrageous that Major League Baseball is going to allow this. They're going to allow it. This is outrageous in my view. I would think that the teams are probably up in arms on this, especially the small markets, and I don't blame them. How do you compete when you defer all this money? Now, the word is that the Guggenheim Group that owns the Dodgers are in all likelihood at the end of that 10 years is going to sell the team to make a huge investment, and they'll leave the contract to be dealt with to the new owner. That is disgusting, in my view, in my opinion, to get away with that shit. Okay? The Mets have been taxed on this competitive balancing nonsense, but meanwhile they're doing this. This doesn't disrupt the competitive balance tax. And now I'm here, it's not really $700 million, it's $460 million. It's bullshit, $700 million. What's this accounting nonsense? It's $700 million. That $680 million they deferred. It's just crazy. I mean, where did this guy learn how to do accounting? Bobby Bonilla School of Accounting? I mean, you can't blame him for doing that. But, and they said it was his idea. They said it was Ohtani's idea. But nevertheless, let's talk about Ohtani a little bit as a player. He's a good hitter. He's a good pitcher. Is he a high average hitter? He's a 274 hitter. What's his ERA? Is a little over 3? Not too high, 3.04 I think it is. He's got 37 wins. He's won 2 MVPs. He has been the best player in the baseball in the last 3 years. He's got tremendous power. He runs really well. He is a designated hitter. He really doesn't play the field. Obviously, he's a pitcher that throws 100 miles an hour. And the 6 of the years that he has pitched, he's missed 1 year because of the elbow surgery, and he had surgery this past off season, or prior to the off season, and he's gonna miss next year, his first year with the Dodgers as a pitcher. Now he's a guy that has been capable of doing both. Now no one asks certain questions of him. Nobody, it seems, in my view, are willing to ask questions. And part of the issue is that this particular player does not have really much of a relationship with the media. He doesn't talk to the media. That's what the word is. I don't know much about what's going on in Anaheim, but obviously they don't talk to him. He does not talk to the fans. He's very elusive. He's very aloof. A bit of a secretive guy. I mean, this whole thing about nobody has any idea what the name of his dog is. It's so ridiculous that he made a big deal that he has a dog. He doesn't know anybody, don't know name. There's something screwy about that. We don't see that with players. We don't see that with athletes or anybody. A little strange. Doesn't like the spotlight, but wants the money. Now let's talk about Babe Ruth. He loved the spotlight. He reveled in it. There's so many things that are like, his name is tied to so many monumental feats, a Ruthian feat. The Babe Ruth of his industry, stuff like that. Now, as a pitcher, Ruth was a Hall of Famer as a pitcher. He won 94 games, 5 years, 6 years as a starter. For the longest time, he had the most wins by a lefty in the history of the Red Sox up until Bruce Hurst showed up. He pitched over 300 innings twice. Now, I know it's 100 years ago, but people sort of denigrate his pitching. He was a Hall of Fame pitcher long before he was the big home run hitter. And he was known for his power as a pitcher. He did pitch 1 year and hit 1 year, doing both. And playing the field, too. Ohtani doesn't play the field. Ruth was playing the field. And people think of Ruth at the end is all out of shape. He was not out of shape, especially in the early part of his career, especially when he was pitching. And he was always a guy in the middle of his lineup. Any lineup he was in the middle of the lineup when he pitched. And then he became this great home run hitter. But as a player, and that's just as a part of it as a pitcher. He won 94 games. Ohtani's won 37 games. Ruth started 147 games. Ohtani's started 86 games. And the years that he played for the Yankees, folks, somebody wrote to me the other day saying that Ruth did not pitch for the Yankees. Ruth started 5 games for the Yankees, pitched 6 games, 1 game in relief. He won 5 games out of the 94 wins that he had as a pitcher. 5 wins as a Yankee in the 5 starts that he had. His last 3 starts in the majors, which came in different years. He had starting. His last start was in 1933 when he was 38 years old. Complete game win. Went 9 innings. His last 3 games as a starter went 9 innings, complete games. So not only was he hitting, but he was completing games, winning games, and doing all this great stuff. Now as a hitter, he was a .342 career hitter. Ohtani's 274, and he's just hitting. He's not playing the field. I mean, we talk about how great all these guys are so greatly conditioned, blah, 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 blah. This guy hit 342. Also, he won the Triple Crown. Did you know that? Babe Ruth had the triple, won the Triple Crown 1 year. Ohtani never did that. Not at all. Ohtani cannot hit. I don't think Ohtani can hit 300. Has he hit 300 in his career? He might have had the 1 year, right? But he's not a average hitter. Babe Ruth is probably the second greatest hitter in the history of the game besides Ted Williams. I mean, when you talk about Aaron as a hitter, we're dealing with Ty Cobb. We're dealing with Willie Mays. We're dealing with Henry Aaron. We're dealing with Rogers Hornsby, Honus Wagner, Trish Speaker. These guys. Tony Gwynn. That's who we're talking about. Is Ohtani in the class as a hitter? Is Tony Gwynn? No, he is not. Is he in a class with Big Boggs as a hitter? No, he is not. I'm not talking about the power. I'm talking as a hitter. I would also say that Mike Piazza was a better hitter than Ohtani is, quite frankly. Also would mention, Ohtani hasn't won anything. He hasn't won anything. His teams don't win. His teams haven't won. And in fact, this past year, the Angels did everything they could to make themselves a winning team. Obviously, didn't work out. But he didn't play well. They made all these moves, and he did not play well. I don't know if it's because of the injury that he had to the elbow, but he didn't play well. And all the years that he's with the Angels, he didn't win 1 game. He didn't have 1 big at bat, 1 big game to pitch. Babe Ruth won 2 World Series as a pitcher with the Red Sox. Okay, and he had 29 inning scoreless streak in the World Series. If Ohtani does that, then we can talk. That I will say. Also, Ruth is the standard. Everyone else is under him. Well, everybody else. Aaron, Ted Williams, Joe DiMaggio, Albert Pujols, all under him. Jimmy Fox are all under him. No Babe Ruth, no game. And then you have, what did you have before Babe Ruth? The dead ball era. Not a lot of home runs, not a lot of excitement, a lot of stolen bases, a lot of triples. After that, balls hit out of the ballpark. He's the standard. He's the standard bearer. And it hasn't been the same since. Ohtani retires tomorrow, nobody's going to talk to him about him the same way. Even back when they played, they were in awe of Ruth. So I would also mention, Ruth had a couple of years where he was injured. He was sick 1 year. He had all kinds of stomach problems. And the guy still hit 714 homers. And his final game in the majors, folks, Ruth hit 3 home runs. His last at bat in the majors, he hit a home run. His last game was 3 home runs with the Braves. with the Boston Braves in 1935. So this is a guy that is a mythical figure. A lot of these guys are mythical figures. Henry Aaron's a mythical figure, a heroic figure. Willie Mays is a mythical figure. Joe DiMaggio is a mythical figure. Mickey Mantle is. Ohtani is mythical, but he has to do more than 3 years. Babe Ruth as a pitcher did it for 6 years, didn't get hurt, and was still winning games when he was with the Yankees, and he was a great all-time hitter. Ohtani's not a great all-time hitter. He's a great all-time talent. I don't care about, I would mention about unicorns, they don't exist. And again, how is he able to recover from pitching and then hitting the rest of the week? Questions need to be asked. But since he doesn't talk to the media, unlike the Babe, he gets away with it. Babe couldn't shut the Babe up. But Ohtani, always quiet. Doesn't say anything. Everything's a big secret. Won't even talk about his own pet. Just think about how weird that is. This guy is weird. Now that we've gotten a chance of seeing how he negotiates and how he deals with things, he's fucking weird. So, let him stay out there in California. We'll see how good the Dodgers are now after they've made this move. They didn't win with him and the Angels. We'll see if he's able to win out there now. So, let me know what you think about this video. Of course, please subscribe to Baseball Hut too, and I'll see you later.